Hey guys, tonight we're driving the 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, and we have our first light dusting of the season. So I figured I'd take it out, get some thoughts on what the traction control system is like and how the tires feel in some slightly hard-packed snow. It's a little bit wet out. We have deep snow and mud mode for our X mode all-wheel drive. That pretty much turns off traction control. We have snow and dirt. That's more of a low speed off-roading mode. And then of course we just have our normal drive mode. We've already filmed a full review on the Subaru Outback Wilderness. So if you want all the information and details on this car, be sure to check that out. That's a day drive, but also this will give you an opportunity to see how this car looks at night, what the headlights are like. Everything seems to be pretty good upon first impressions. Excellent visibility and a decent amount of grip from these Geolander Yokohama tires. I really like the looks of the Subaru Outback Wilderness, and it drives pretty well. It's a nice package. I like that Subaru is making some more off-road focused vehicles in their lineup, and I just hope they just keep it going with maybe some performance offerings like the BRZ or WRX. All right, so let's start off here. We're in a snowy parking lot, a pretty safe space. Let's start off in normal mode and see how the traction control reacts. So we're just going to accelerate from a stop. Keeping our revs limited, but still a pretty liberal amount of wheel spin. And it's even letting us get a little bit sideways. Pretty typical for a traction control system, maybe a little bit more leeway than most. Let's put it in a deep snow mud mode. And in deep snow mud mode, everything pretty much feels like it's off. Wow, a little bit of stability control intervention, but we can have some fun in this Outback. Nice. Pretty good all-wheel drive system. Pretty good car to drive in the snow upon first impressions. Very predictable, even with the traction control off. There's a little bit of stability control intervention, but nothing too bad. ABS is nice to control, and the grip from these tires feels decent, maybe like a more aggressive all-season. See that traction control light flashing, telling you that you're getting a little bit out of sorts, but of course you'd know that because you've just given it a boot full. The ABS doesn't intervene too soon. It's pretty easy to modulate. These headlights are fantastic too. I like how easily you can adjust the gauge cluster brightness with this switch over here. See how the headlights turn with your steering inputs. For winter driving, one thing I do feel like this Outback Wilderness is missing is a heated steering wheel. But this leather doesn't stay cold for too long once the heat does turn on. I think I would still recommend a good set of winter tires for your Outback, even though these are more off-road focused all seasons. I'm actually kind of surprised how liberal this deep snow and mud mode is. pretty much feels like everything's off, unless if you get really crossed up. There is no traction control button in this Outback Wilderness, just the different drive modes, and they seem to be pretty well tuned for their intended purposes. It is nice to see that Subaru is going to let you have a little bit of fun in this thing. The slushy road surfaces that we have right now, it's pretty stable. Put us back into normal X mode. And it looks like we can't go back into deep snow mud until we slow down. Snow and dirt mode will disable at speeds above 25 miles per hour. We don't have automatic windshield wipers, but we just have a manual adjustment knob that we can tweak to whatever setting we need. Sometimes simpler is better. Complaint that I have had about this Subaru Outback Wilderness all week is that there is not one button or switch to turn on all the interior lights. You kind of have to fish around for that light, and it's really pretty hard to find. There's just the door on and off button, and there's really no way to turn on all the lights in this interior, and it can get pretty dark at night if you're not familiar with some of the buttons, etc. Looks like once we're down from speed, we can enable our deep snow mud mode, but we do, it looks like, have to come to a complete stop. See our auto high beams kick on here. Pretty nice illumination in the dark. Let's see how we do turning around here. You can see they turn off when you rotate. Gotta love an all-wheel drive car in the snow. It just gets the job done. Accelerates way faster than it can slow down. In my full review, I said this feels a little bit like a rally car sometimes, and I still stick by that. The Cvt is pretty responsive, puts down the power almost immediately, a little bit quicker than a torque converter automatic might sometimes. And the 260 horsepower from this 2.4 liter boxer 4-cylinder is pretty nice. It's a very quick powertrain. Yeah, this drives great in the snow. With everything off, it's progressive. Get a decent amount of feel of what's going on and what it's going to do. It's predictable, which is nice. And really, I don't feel much stability control intervention until you hit some opposite lock off throttle. If you stay into the throttle, this does a pretty good job of letting you slide it around. We've got a bit of a 2-track back there. and 9.5 inches of ground clearance. That'll get you through just about everything you need to these days. No problems. You can use the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel to slow you down. Cvt isn't too happy about it, but it does offer quite a bit of deceleration off the brake pedal. And because all this is cladded in plastic, going through all those reeds and pretty nasty, scratchy field areas, this is pretty much undamaged. It's in great shape. We've got all this plastic cladding actually comes through if you're going through some rough, less than desirable 2-track. How predictable this all-wheel drive system is. It's pretty good. Alright guys, well there is your very, very light snow drive in the Subaru Outback Wilderness. Pretty nice car to drive through the slippery stuff. I think this would make a fantastic winter driver and a pretty good all-rounder. I have a few complaints about this, but for the most part, this has been a really nice car to drive this week. I would not spec the optional $1,800 11.6-inch touchscreen. I think it's just a little bit too slow and tedious to use. The climate control, having to go into the menus and having more than one input to get what you need, is not ideal. Otherwise, though, I think this is a really nice car and maybe a good alternative to something like a Toyota 4Runner or a more off-road oriented SUV that's going to be quite a bit heavier, have a much larger gas mileage penalty, and maybe won't be as nimble or agile or fun to drive in inclement weather or on the day-to-day basis. For how capable this actually is off-road, it's a pretty good, well-mannered street car. So anyway, guys, we didn't get a chance to really off-road this week, just a little bit of soft-roading in snowy conditions and a little dirt road in the back country. But for the most part, I think this is a pretty capable platform. Maybe we'll get a chance to take this on a real off-road course sometime soon or next spring. Until then, though, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.